Okay, let's talk about functions of the skin. This is at the top, page 74. Pardon me. Here we are. So the functions of the skin. There are 5 functions, and then of course we break them down from there. Protection is first. We mentioned that the skin is a physical barrier between us and the outside world. It protects our squishy innards from anything that might want to try to get in, actually. Protection and barrier go together because remember, this is the integumentary system, so there's a lot going on there. Not only do we have a physical barrier between us and the inside, but we also create an oil that is expressed through glands onto the surface of our skin, and that oil is acidic. And because it's acidic, it's called an acid mantle. And it sits on our skin. And what it does is it protects us from fungal growth and bacteria, because bacteria don't like acidic environments very much. So not only do we have a physical barrier, but we also have an acid barrier as well. Now, vitamin D production. This is something we talked about when we were talking about skin color. So whenever UVB specifically rays hit our skin, it initiates the production of vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is really important to the human organism in several different ways. First of all, vitamin D helps calcium lay onto bone. So calcium just doesn't flow throughout the body and then become bone. Yeah, it has to be helped in a way. So vitamin D helps lay down bone. Vitamin D also plays a role in the immune system. So lack of vitamin D can affect the immune system and potentially affect mental health, actually. So vitamin D production is initiated by the skin, or I'm sorry, by the UVB rays hitting the skin. So vitamin D actually can be taken in through diet. I'm sure you've seen this before, vitamin D fortified milk, or I think we actually have a vitamin D fortified orange juice in our refrigerator right now. So you can get vitamin D in your diet these days. But before we had those kinds of products, we would have to get it through our skin. But you don't need a whole lot of it. 15 minutes in the sun each day is enough to initiate the production of vitamin D. There is a small fast fact on page 74 about vitamin D and just some of the roles that it plays in the body. The next function is sensory perception. Yes, we have so many different kinds of nerve endings in our skin. We have ones that process just the very, very lightest touch, like a fly walking on your skin. And we have others that sense vibration, and still others that sense deeper pressure. So of course, these sensory organs, which are going to be part of the nervous system, ultimately, we will discuss because they are essential to what we do as a massage therapist. But we are going to talk about them in detail in another class. Just know that you cannot help but to feel through your skin. Your experience of the world is determined by the skin sensations that you feel. You can't help it. If I walk and brush against a wall, or brush against this soft chair, or whack my ankle on a coffee table, I cannot help but feel it. So our experience of the world is through our skin and those particular nerve endings, the varied amount of nerve endings. And last but not least, we have thermoregulation. Thermoregulation occurs in one of 2 ways through our skin. First of all, we have the hypodermis, which has that layer of adipose. So the hypodermis, and specifically the adipose, helps retain heat and cushion and things like that. helps us not to lose heat through our skin. And then the second one is the opposite of that. That is heat loss through the skin. And how does this occur? Yep, by sweating. We have sweat glands in the dermis, and they release fluid to the surface of our skin where it evaporates, making us feel cool. The sensation of coolness on our skin is from the evaporation of sweat, and that helps cool us down. So thermoregulation, one of two different ways. We have really more on kind of each of these with different systems of the body as we get there. But for now, this is a pretty good list. You also have at the bottom of page 74 a body at work section. And I just want to briefly mention that another term for the skin is cutaneous membrane, if you recall. And it is a selectively permeable membrane. So it doesn't really let water in and selectively lets fluids out, but there are things that can penetrate the skin. Lotions, creams, unguents, certain medications are transdermal, meaning that you put a patch of it on your skin and it seeps into your skin and gets into your bloodstream. What else? Lead, mercury, certain things like that. Poison sometimes can get into your skin that way. So again, it's selectively permeable, doesn't let everything in, but can let some substances in, usually of our choosing. And that's it, I think, for functions of the skin. It's a short unit. I'm going to stop the screen share. And that is all for this lesson. I will see you for appendages of the skin. Woohoo!